So can you hear me all good right now? Capturing my audio. I'm gonna disconnect and yeah, I'm gonna disconnect and then reconnect. That helps. All right, probably help a little. Alrighty, are we live right now? All right, turn up. What is up? Oh. And you want to like just put like a general team that would like specifically be good for the online tournament. I think then build that's gonna help you. Oh no, I'm gonna try to switch networks. All right, hope everything now. Hopefully. Oh no, I have no idea why. I've got like 3 bars. My Wi-Fi is chilling. Yeah, I didn't hear it. When you're going for like rats and trick room, more specifically, first thing you want to start off with your sweeper. I think that's the most centralizing Pokemon that can help like go with as much of the format and sweep as much of the format as possible. And metas, I mean, meta doesn't really matter in that regard because you're going to like build around something versus option. Meta is probably going to be like more something you're considering when you're trying to think of like what to put next to it. Pokemon is definitely Rhyperior. Like, it's possible to have a hard Trick Room team without Rhyperior. Rhyperior is always going to carry a weakness policy, and it's always and it's almost always going to have Solid Rock as well. Yeah, I think some of them now because sometimes if like you're really weak to water types, for instance, like if you have a really bad melodic matchup, sometimes you might want to run like Thunder Punch on Rhyperior. Like if you have a bad Corviknight matchup, Thunder Punch is also decent. But at the same time, if you're fighting against those Pokemon, you might want to run like high horsepower and Earthquake and Rock Slide move. So it's fine, like Rock Slide, high horsepower, and those are um, kind of like always going to exist, pretty much. And protect. Yeah, always. I mean, not always, but like for a sweeper, actually, not even there. But in a lot of situations in the game where your win con is just for protect trick room and protect and able to get trick room up with a room setter against something that otherwise would be able to KO Rhyperior is a big, really big deal. So I think having Rhyperior there. The fourth moves, I don't know yet. I think it's good to just leave that slot open for now and come back to it later. The other part of Pokemon, it's going to be a trick. Batterine, it's not bad. Bad. I was thinking two big setters, I guess three in a way, if we want to include another one. Is going to be Dusclops, which is like a top 10 Pokemon in the format. And also is great because it goes next to Rhyperior to give it policy and lower its speed. So it can then underspeed stuff like Snorlax in the back and Gastrodon if Gastrodon's in the back and not in the field when you bulldoze. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Eevee. I mean, this thing is stupid. And also, Frisk. Actually, having Frisk. Yeah, especially because the tournament is best of one. So playing in best of one, able to see what items your opponent has is incredibly useful. Though it's less useful for this team since I don't think it's really going to change your strategy all too much. Since whenever you're leading Dusclops, you're typically just going for a fake out trick room or follow me trick room, some sort of. So that strategy won't change, but like as you're planning out your game plan, figuring out like, oh, this thing has weakness policy, that's great. I know that. Or oh, this Pokemon doesn't have Life Orb, so that means this Pokemon in the back might have Life Orb, and I need to be rid of it, having extra damage. This is like at some points in time where Frisk is still pressures, not that. But yeah, Trick and Bolt are 100% those. Those. Oh no. Those through that. Let me try something else.
Eric, can you hear me? Yeah, I tried to switch microphones, and maybe it's a problem with the microphone. Definitely not a problem with my Wi-Fi. So, switch mics. Hopefully that works. But the second move is going to be Bulldoze, because you need Bulldoze in order to activate weakness policy on Rhyperior. That's pretty much like if you're Trick Room Rhyperior, you're almost always running Trick Room Bulldoze. Definitely stand. For the last two moves, depends kind of on what you want. Some Dusclops opt to run Will-O-Wisp because in the mirror, being able to Will-O-Wisp other Rhyperior is pretty useful. Some run Nightshade because just having that like a really bulky Pokemon like Dusclops and being able to fire off a couple Nightshades to get some chip damage is incredibly useful. I think at the start of the format, no one was using Nightshade, but now I think Nightshade is one of the more popular moves. Pain Split is another option because whenever Dusclops gets low, it has such a low HP stat that whenever you Pain Split, you restore like ridiculous amounts of health and lower their health at the same time. Pain Split's amazing. And the other added benefit of Pain Split is as Trick Room is ending, if your Dusclops is still alive, typically it's taken some damage. And a lot of what the strategies that people do to beat Trick Room is if they have a strategy where they let Trick Room go up, what they do is they try to then um, make it so that your Dusclops gets chipped into KO range of an attack so they can deny Trick Room on the next turn. And so having Pain Split lets you Pain Split them so that you can get your health back in order to set Trick Room up a second time and win. And even if they go for a double protect to deny you Pain Split, you can do really cool plays where like you Pain Split your Roam Palm, which is something that people have done like a couple times in order to guarantee that they get that health back to get Trick Room up again. But obviously that's a risky play because if they just attack, you're screwed. But the point is like kind of have the option anyways. And against good players, a lot of times they'll just be double protecting at the end of Trick Room. So Pain Split's a really good option. And we're forgetting the one of the best moves in Ally Switch. And it's a best of one too. So Ally Switch is absolutely devastating. Yeah. I like that. I like that. I like that set. I think Nightshade work as well. But I think that the more you test the team and the more you figure out what you're weak to, you can swap moves around. Because if you feel like, oh, I'm never using Pain Split or oh, I'm never using Ally Switch, then it's definitely worth it to try to get Nightshade on there, I think. Exactly. Exactly. See, you don't need me here. You look you know everything that's going on. You're up to speed. Indeedee or Togekiss. I think those are two really good ones. I'm interested in Clefable, or not Clefable, Clefairy a little bit right now. Actually, kind of want to look at a few things about Clefairy. Typically, like, because Clefairy didn't used to get Friend Guard, but now recently with some of the new Pokemon, it does get Friend Guard. So now that it has Friend Guard, like, there's like a few cool things that you can do with it. Clefairy is better than Clefable because of things. One, it's slower than it. So there's a few like cool things that you can do where if you run after you on Clefairy, you can after you your own Pokemon in Trick Room and then make your Pokemon in Trick Room go first. So being like a lot slower is kind of useful in that regard. It's also bulkier with oh shit, we have Dusclops with E. Never mind. Never mind. Clefairy is a bad idea. I was about to say with Eviolite, I was like, it's pretty good. Then I was like, wait a minute, we already got Dusclops. That's not good. I think I was gonna end up going in DDD. To be honest, I wanted to look at a few things about Clefairy first, like if it got a way to activate Rhyperior weakness policy. It also gets a life too, which is kind of cute, but not the best on like hard Trick Room. But I think in DDD is definitely good, and I think I'll give you like a in DDD set that's not very not common at all. I've seen maybe one person use it on ladder, but I think for a best of one tournament is arguably the optimal way to go. And I think it is you're on Focus Sash as the item, so you guarantee that you can live two attacks when you follow me. Run Psychic Surge, of course, because you don't want Fake Out to stop some of the Trick Room setups that you have. Because a lot of times people will go for like Fake Out to stop the redirection and then hit the Trick Room setter. or fake out the stop redirection and then taunt Dusclops. So Psychic Surge is important to stop people from flowcharting that way. But instead, I think you have male and the female one. Yeah, because the male one gets Trick Room, I believe. Yeah, the male one gets Trick Room, and the female one gets Follow Me. So they get like different moves and different support moves. I think they have slightly different stats as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you want to go Follow Me 100%. And this is the insane like set that I'm gonna give you. What you do is you run max speed on Indeedee. Since you have Focus Sash anyways, you live a crap load of attacks. You run max speed, and what this does is it makes it so that you outspeed other max speed Chandelure. What you do is you run Imprison. Imprison Chandelure to stop them from using Imprison, so they can't use Imprison Trick. Since it's best of one, like that's just gonna end games. There, that's just gonna end games. There's a lot of people run hyper offense with Chandelure. So whenever they face hard Trick Room, they can just throw out Chandelure and go, oh, I beat Trick Room by just going Imprison Trick Room, so they can't get it up. But with this strategy, you can outspeed that, Imprison, stop there, Imprison, get Trick Room up, and then hopefully be able to sweep. It's nasty. Since you're so fast, you don't run any bulk, so you just run Focus Sash, and that makes up for it. And you can, since you're Sash, you don't really need any other bulk. You can just go max special attack and like actually do decent damage with Psychic as well. See, I don't know if Protect is actually best move because typically you're just gonna be going for like Follow Me stuff anyways. I think like Helping Hands could be cute. Safeguard could be cute. I'm actually not sure how good Protect is. Because whenever you're leading like Indeedee and Dusclops or Indeedee and maybe another Trick Room setter that we decide to go with, because I think at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say Hatterene's probably going to end up being on this team. But whenever you're going for hard Trick Room, I just don't see a lot of situations where you're going to want to Protect, right? Because turn one, you're just going to want to be going for like Follow Me Trick Room. Turn two, you're probably going to want to either switch out into something or like you'll probably turn two want to like Follow Me, switch into something so you can get something in for free. Indeed, you might be going down turn one a lot of the times anyways. So the question is, I guess, is in what endgame situations would you find yourself wanting this fourth move? Or what fourth move would you want for these endgame situations? Because Indeedee gets so many good support moves like Safeguard, and a lot of people are running Yawn Gastrodon right now as well in order to try to stop a lot of Trick Room teams. So if you lead something like Indeedee Dusclops and they lead Yawn and they just try to use Yawn to stop your Trick Room mode, you can just go for stuff like Safeguard Trick Room on turn one if they don't have enough offensive pressure to deal with Dusclops. And if they do have enough offensive pressure to deal with Dusclops, and Follow Me with Indeedee, it's probably going to result in Indeedee getting KO'd and you getting the free switch to Rhyperior anyways as you set up Trick Room, then you can like Bulldoze Policy Dynamax stuff. So I think Safeguard might actually be like a really interesting fourth move. I don't think anyone's doing this right now. This is just kind of like, I don't know, just like kind of like a read, I guess, on what a lot of people are running right now. Because a lot of people are running bulky Yawn Togekiss and Yawn Gastrodon specifically also to beat Trick Room teams. Since Gastrodon is so good against Rhyperior, that's like one of the main things that people use to beat Rhyperior, since Gastrodon underspeeds it, hits it with water type attacks that's 2 times super effective. So a lot of people are just throwing Gash teams and they're using it. So I think Safeguard's a good option, but that fourth slot could be open for it changed as well depending on just what you find yourself losing to. Because you could put Light Screen on there. It also gets Light Screen. You could put Um, oh, they're really good. I've seen it. I've seen it. Okay, I'm not even kidding. Oh my God, you could run your own ally switch. And Ndidi as well. You have two allies. See, but this is what I mean. Like, you have so many cool moves, and I just don't think that like you're ever in a position where you're going to be using protect often, since a lot of times you want Ndidi getting KO'd so that you can get your free switch. It's helping hands. It also gets heal pulse. Heal pulse is great. Helping hand is great. It's just got so many options. But for now, I think safeguard could be interesting to throw on there. I think Hatterene is a pretty straightforward um, addition here, because we also now have Gmax Hatterene that's legal, and Gmax Hatterene's max move is stupid broken. Do you know what it does? Oh my God, you were going to your mind. Okay. Hatterene's max and its max move makes it so that both your opponents get confused. Yes, both of them. Straight up get confused. 30% chance to not move on both their green. G-max it, you literally just spam confusion. That's just gonna win you entire games. Like over the course of the IC, you will win multiple games purely because of Pokemon hitting themselves in confusion. If you play all the games, like it just statistically has to happen. Statistically, it doesn't have to. Technically, statistically, it will happen. It's also broken when you confuse everything with Hatterene and have Rhyperior next to it, rock sliding as well. So like you confuse stuff and you flinch stuff. It's insane. It's insane. So Hatterene, but what Hatterene, I think for typically what you go with, because yeah. And the other cool thing about it is the move that sets up the confusion on your opponent is the fairy move from Hatterene. So this means that you're also now able to use the fairy max without getting rid of your psychic terrain. Actually a really big deal, because you can go for like fairy type attacks, and then in the past that would set up misty terrain, and then you wouldn't get the psychic boost if you wanted to use the psychic move and to get rid of your boosts. But now you're able to confuse your opponents. You're able to still get your boost as well. It's insanely good. I think the set you want to go is like Protect, Dazzling Gleam, Trick Room Sight. Actually, I don't even know if you want Protect on this either. I think you want Mystical Fire. Honestly, yeah. And whenever you Dynamax, it gives you fire coverage to be able to hit steel types that normally are able to beat Hatterene. Mainly, yeah, because that's like its only fairy move. I think it only gets Dazzling Gleam. And having that spread damage is massive as well. Psychic. Yeah, you get the life orb boost, which is 1 times. You get the psychic terrain boost, which is I think all 1.3 times as well. And you get stab, and Hatterene's got 136 base special attack. It's just does loads of damage. But I think also instead of Mystical Fire, you could run something like Giga Drain as well, because Hatterene underspeeds Gastrodon. Being able to Giga Drain opposing Gastrodon so that Rhyperior doesn't get hit by grass moves is kind of nice, but so Rhyperior doesn't get hit by water moves. And the thing is, like, I think about it, Mystical Fire lowers special attack anyways, so then Rhyperior probably like lives the Gastrodon's attacks at the same time. But having Giga Drain also lets you be able to Giga Drain your own Rhyperior if Rhyperior's Dynamaxed in order to activate your own weakness policy. Like it probably does like tons of damage. But Giga Drain also lets you hit other Rhyperior too. So, I don't know. Giga Drain's a really interesting option. Most people just opt for Mystical Fire. But yeah, true, true. Uh, I don't think so. Just do a lot of damage. Let me check. Because that's the thing. Sometimes against other Rhyperior, you just want to like use your own Rhyperior. But I mean, it really depends on a lot of things. Here, I'm gonna do some calcs real quick on how much Giga Drain does to other Rhyperior. I think if nothing's Dynamaxed, then Giga Drain with Life Orb might be able to pick up the Oko on opposing Rhyperior, and yeah, that is the case. Um, so Giga Drain from regular Hatterene Oko's other regular Solid Rock Rhyperior. But whenever other Rhyperior are Dynamaxed, Life Orb Giga Drain only does 57 to 68%. So it's like pretty much a 2-hit KO. But if you Dynamax and go for max overgrowth into an opposing max Rhyperior, it barely picks up the KO, but it does 100%. So if they Dynamax their Rhyperior, you Dynamax and go for max overgrowth, you get the KO. But a lot of times Rhyperior uses max Rockfall to set up Sand, which means they would live, or they use max Quake to boost special defense, which also means they would live. So that's just something to be cognizant of, that it can't have any boosts from Quake and Sand can't be up if you want to be getting the KO. Helping Hand. Yeah, that's why Helping Hand could be cool. I mean, Helping Hand with Hatterene's brutal in general. Uh, I think Psychics. I like Psychic a lot. I think Psychic. Because a lot of times you don't always. Here's the thing: like you don't always go with Indeedee Hatterene. A lot of times, I think I don't know the exact amount because I haven't done a lot of extensive testing in Trick Room, but a lot of the times you're gonna be going in DD Dusclops. And whenever you do that, you already have your Dusclops on this team, which can't be picking up KOs because all it has is Pain Split Alice. Oh, I guess it can with Bulldoze, but like it doesn't really do damage, like Nightshade can do. And a lot of times you'll find yourself in endgame situations where your opponent is able to ignore one of your Pokemon because they know it can't pick up any KOs. So they'll just ignore one of your Pokemon and go after the other Pokemon. And I think Dusclops definitely applies in that situation. And Indeedee also applies to that situation as well. That being said, you do have Follow Me on Indeedee, and you do have Ally Switch on Dusclops. So you have like guess forms of redirection on both Pokemon. I just like all of my VGC experience, I just wouldn't be comfortable without having Psychic on Indeedee on this team. Just because I think that works. And I also think that's good because Hatterene also now has, since it has Giga Drain on it, that's another way to hit Gastrodon. And one of the things I was really worried about was Yawn Gastrodon. So being able to kind of hit it with Giga Drain before it goes for the Yawn is a big deal. And the other thing is the other reason Yawn Gastrodon wasn't really used to stop Trick Room much in the past was because Hatterene in the past used to activate Misty Terrain with its Fairy Max move. But now, since its Fairy Max move activates Confusion, the Gastrodon are able to yawn, and typically there's not a lot of way to stop uh, that sleep status like there was in the past. So it's kind of cool how the moves kind of changed a little bit based off of what people are using in Hard Trick Room. But I'm okay with Helping Hand Safeguard. I'm just slightly worried that into like Togekiss leads and stuff. Because a lot of people just lead Togekiss to stop Trick Room. Like we just have to go for Follow Me and then have to switch in DD next turn. But I guess we're switching in DD next turn anyway. So yeah, let's go Helping Hand. I'm not sure. This is where building Trick Room gets hard. These first four Pokemon are like pretty easy to put on a team. Yeah. I think Gastrodon's that on the hard Trick Room because it was good against the other Gastrodon. But I think we're kind of okay against other Gastrodon for now. One thing that might be worthwhile looking into is having a way to stop yourself from getting Rock Slide flinched to death. Because if you go into like Excadrill Tyranitar, right? They just click Rock Slide and you just have a 50% chance of losing. Pretty much a 50% chance of 50% to lose is not good. Something I'm thinking of maybe doing against specifically people who have sand options is Liepard. Liepard is Prankster Copycat. Can lead Hatterene and Liepard and turn Dynamax and click Trick Room on Hatterene, which turns into Max Guard. So you Max Guard your Hatterene. And if Liepard uses Copycat on your own Hatterene, then you priority set up Trick Room so you don't have to worry about getting flinched. And then immediately after that, Liepard also has priority Fake Tears. So then it can start going for special defense drops while Hatterene starts just smacking things. I think is an interesting option. Definitely, it's an interesting option. Point. Actually, I think that'd be okay. It'd be fine. No. But we wouldn't be able to run Focus Sash on Liepard since we have Focus Sash on a D. Actually, that's not the worst. You kind of want Liepard to die fast anyways a lot of the times just to give yourself a free switch and maximize how you use your Trick Room turns. Because that's the thing about Trick Room, right? The thing about Trick Room is, think about it like this, right? If you go for Follow Me Trick Room, at the end of that turn, after you Follow Me Trick Room, you have 4 turns of Trick Room left. If you spend one of those turns switching in a threat, you have 3 turns of Trick Room left. 3 turns to Dynamax. That's cool. That lines up properly. However, on that 3rd turn, your opponent can double protect. You don't do a lot of damage. You get 1 turn of doing damage, and then that last turn of Trick Room, they double protect again. So in theory, if you're going for just Follow Me Trick Room, switching into a threat, and then going on the offensive, you only get 3. You, in theory, could potentially only have 1 real turn of doing tons of damage. In theory, because of double or because of protects. However, if you are able to get your offensive Pokemon on the field as you set up Trick, those 4 turns instead of those 3 turns. Even if they are double protecting on half of those turns to try to stall out your Trick Room, you now have 2 times the amount of turns, essentially, in theory, that you can be doing damage on. Just something that a lot of the really successful Trick Room teams over the years have been able to abuse. So a lot of teams have had stuff like redirection and eject button on a Pokemon. So you could go for Follow Me, get hit, and then eject button straight into the threat as Trick Room goes up and immediately start doing damage. And in theory, have that extra turn, which is a massive deal. I can't stress how important that is, especially because you're running hard Trick Room, right? You're banking on essentially winning the game or doing enough damage to win the game in the turns that Trick Room is up. Having that extra turn means all the difference in the world. Which is why maybe not running Sash and Liepard could be good, or maybe redirection eject button. No one in this format has really run redirection eject button, no. I don't think anyone's tried it. People have used it like in formats in the past, and it's been somewhat popular. It's a team I used in 2019 where I topped the battle spot ladder or got like second on the battle spot ladder with like Gothitelle, Amoonguss, and I would go like I'd eject button Amoonguss and I'd rage powder Trick Room and I'd eject button into Primal Groudon and then like Gravity P Blades, Helping Hand P Blades, and just try to straight sweep by doing that. And Gothitelle was good in that format because you could stop Primal Kyogre from switching in on you. So like you got guaranteed weather control, which was a huge deal in that format. But for this format, I don't know. Maybe that's worth looking into, like some cheeky eject button strategy that no one's really tried yet. Hmm. I think the problem with it, I think the problem is, I think it indeed can't be eject button because I think prison and you don't want to get hit by an attack and get eject buttoned out before you can imprison an opposing Chandelure. It's kind of um yeah, because you just being that passive and letting them get damage on you before you get Trick Room up really hurts your chances of trying to win a lot of the time. I think so, potentially. The problem is facing something that has fake out and they hmm, you're facing something with fake out, they could fake you out before you copycat and force you out. A lot of those hyper offensive Chandelure teams run Whimsicott Chandelure. So if they tailwind Imprison, that'd be bad. But like there's no reason they should ever tailwind though. I don't think so. Since they don't know you, since like no one is gonna assume that you have Imprison on a DDD unless they're like a really good player and like really into the circuit. Like I was worried for a second maybe the Imprison strat might not work to 100, like to its full effectiveness, but the more I think about it, the more I realize it's fine. It's fine. 'Cause I was thinking maybe like we lose the imprison strat and run eject button on Indeedee and just use Liepard as with Copycat as a way to get around the turn one imprison. Copycat's another way to beat imprison. Um, it's fine. I think this is fine. And Indeedee's definitely a lot more standard to lead, and it's easier to like get off the field, I think. Um, when you're facing teams that have Excadrill Tyranitar on them, which is what the Liepard lead is kind of really looking to stop. Liepard, Hatterene, set up Trick Room. Dies. You bring in Torkoal. I think Torkoal's a good sixth as well, by the way. I think Torkoal has to be like the sixth. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Because we need this last thought was always gonna be another like heavy hitter. Because I think the team hasn't like enough ways to hit stuff. Hatterene hit stuff, Rhyperior hit stuff, Torkoal hit stuff. So a lot of leads you can go like Indeedee Dusclops, Indeedee Hatterene, and then have like hitters in the back as well. Thinking of was maybe Delmise, because Delmise has been seeing some usage lately. Because it's one of those Pokemon that's really good at getting rid of Gastrodon. It can hit other ghost types as well that might try to like reverse Trick Room. Fine. I think Torkoal's just so good with Drought as well. because it lets Rhyperior take less damage from water moves. It clears grass types that bop Rhyperior. Their synergy is just like so good together. We'll run Charcoal on Torkoal. I think Charcoal's a good item. Oh, we can run the tech. We can run the tech. Do you know what the tech is? Body press torque. Body press. Body press. Yeah. Why body press is so good? Because a lot of people right now are using Tyranitar. Our team has decent ways to hit Tyranitar. Like we can Dazzling Gleam with Hatterene, we can hit it with like Max Quake or like high horsepower from Rhyperior. The problem is if that Tyranitar Dynamaxes, it's living those attacks. It's getting weak. It's doing damage back. So with Torkoal having body press, having an extra way to hit it is absolutely massive. What move do we take off? Because a lot of times people just run like Eruption, Heat Wave, and Solar Beam on Torkoal, and that's definitely standard, and it's definitely good for a reason. Protect on Torkoal is important for the same reason it's important on Rhyperior. Being able to go for that Protect Trick Room play late game with Dusclops, and having Pain Split on the Dusclops as well makes that that play, that late game Protect Trick Room, so much more viable, since Dusclops with Pain Split finds itself in positions where it is going for that late game Trick Room. Solar Beam on Torkoal. I mean, we already have a Grass move on Hatterene, so like, it's not the craziest thing in the world from Body Press on Torkoal. No Grass move. Run. Yeah, with Charcoal as the item. Again, this is just like, this is the first step of like team building. After this, you do testing with the team. You see what stuff what moves you're using, what moves you're never using. Like if we test and we play like 10 games, and in 3 of them we're like, wow, I really wish I had Solar Beam on Torkoal. Like, you probably want to put Solar Beam on Torkoal. And you run Charcoal as the item. That way you can switch between Eruption and Heat Wave, but still do as much damage with those moves as possible. This is the other part of team building. So after you've built the team, or like think you have 6 mons, what you do is you pull up like Boston City Post or Trainer Tower, or like a website where a lot of people collect Pokemon teams and post them. I think Victory Road is like another really common one. I think Victory Road probably is the most up-to-date team, so I'll go to Victory Road. And let's look at all the hard trick room teams that recently were successful. Because by doing this, not only do you see, you know, oh, maybe you can get some ideas from other people and see what other people are doing, but you also get to see what's winning. So you get to kind of infer what other people might do to stop those things from winning, and kind of try to predict the meta a little bit. So yeah, Hard Trick Room won Malmo, which was the last regional before coronavirus. And the team that he used is almost identical to our team, except they had Butterfree over Liepard in the Mons. And I think I maybe like Liepard a little bit better. He ran Protect and Trick Room on his Hatterene. He ran Hammer Arm on his Rhyperior as his 4th move. Dusclops ran Break, Pain Split, Will and Trick Room. Really genius. We're gonna do that. we're gonna run Brick Break instead of Bulldoze on Rhyperior. That's genius. People try to use like screens and use Lapras and stuff, right? Because since Lapras has Gmax resonance, and Brick Break is able to bust through that. Meanwhile, you're also able to Brick Break your own Rhyperior to set up weakness policy, which is super hype. And you're also actually able to do a lot of damage to Tyranitar with just Brick Break. The problem is what this does bring up is if you're facing an opposing Togekiss or something, in the past, like Togekiss would be able to follow me and you would still be able to, bulldoze and activate policy. But if you're running Brick Break, redirection stops you from boosting your Rhyperior. However, this is a best of one tournament, so they will just assume that we have bulldoze and they won't go. Okay, that's great. That's perfect. What did he say about cons? Yeah, I'm looking at his team report to see what other stuff he said about Brick Break. That allows him to not activate an opposing weakness policy. That's a big point. It avoids giving boosts to Melodic. That's another really good point. For Mudsdale. That's why I said he had Will-O-Wisp. We don't have best matchup against Mudsdale. Yeah, but Torkoal's not gonna run Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, but Ally Switch is so good. It's way too good. Also, Rampain split.
Do you want to know how ridiculously stupid I am? It's been 51 minutes and my mic's been muted the entire time.
Oh.
Well, that's beautiful.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Viewer.
Oh.
It happens. This isn't going on YouTube or anything, so we're Gucci. This is why I had stopped muting my mic before I got during the starting soon screen because I'd had problems with unmuting it. But it is what it is. It didn't happen on an important piece of content, so it's perfectly fine.
At least we're just chilling.
Right?
Oh my god.
Well, I was looking at my audio levels and I was like, why is my mic so low? Is something wrong with my mic? Is my mic broken again? And then I saw
that's what it was. The mic was broken. Oh no.
Blue makes horrible mics.
The mic was broken. Midstream, you realized and fixed it. A genius play.
Yo, Al, how are you doing? Hopefully you missed a whole adventure of my mic being muted. I'm back to first day of the stream. Yeah, so Lou is one of our sponsored Pokemon players, and he is helping me make a team for the newly announced tournament. Best of one tournament. I don't even know what it's called.
I actually don't know either. It just got announced today, so let me pull it up real quick. So yeah, basically, it's called the Pokemon Players Cup. You qualify through playing in best of one online tournament, and the top 256 people from each region qualify, and then the tournament takes place over the course of the entire summer. So it's like the biggest Pokemon tournament ever. They announced it today. So
Lou and I are working on setting up a Tim-proof team.
I like the team, and I like the fact that looking at the team online or looking at another hard trick room team that found success online, we have all the same stuff. I like that a lot. His Torkoal has Solar Beam on it with Chark. I like doing a lot better though. Voice crack. I like. Oh, the other thing is with body press on Torkoal. Body press your own Rhyperior to give it weakness policy, with Patterine, you can potentially, you probably don't want to do this a lot because it does a lot of damage, but you potentially could Giga Drain your Unrepiercer to give yourself weakness policy. So all of like our offensive, like we have a lot of ways to give Repiercer weakness policy on this team.
Right.
So there's that Mudstale thing though. But here's the other thing. Mudstale is almost never used. It is really uncommon right now. It's completely fallen out of favor since Lapras took over the format. I'd be able to get away with not running Will-O-Wisp. Mudstale, just how I switch a lot.
So right now, like I don't have IVs or EVs set up on anybody really. Like I have some rough stuff started, but nothing really set up. And then our Leopard still has 2 moves.
Yeah. I was looking at some other teams online just so I could like see what other teams are doing with that slot. To maybe try to get inspiration. You said you really like Butterfree, so that slot could be a Butterfree if you want.
I mean, let's do it. Let's get rid of Leopard. Let's do it.
Because you like Butterfree.
I love Butterfree. G-Max Butterfree. Keep in mind,
we're going to lose games to people who Excadrill and Tyranitar and click Rock Slide. That is going to happen. Like, you will just get flinched to death. Like, is having an option that maybe stops you from getting flinched to death with Leopard, maybe getting flinched to death. Or going with Leopard. No, I said that wrong. Or going with Butterfree, going with the style point.
Should we run Compound Eyes or Tinted Lens?
Compound Eyes.
And then what item would we give?
I don't know. We have Focus Sash on Indeedee, so that's a problem. Scarf. Oh! Run Choice Scarf? Hold up.
Choice Scarf? Butterfree?
Yeah. I've thought of something ridiculous. How much damage does Rock Slide do to Butterfree from an Excadrill? Now, it does a lot. it does way too much. Never mind. Or hold up. Instead of Scarf. So when you face Excadrill Tyranitar, you shift the odds in your favor because you're able to get a sleep powder off to put the Tyranitar to sleep. Last Excadrill, but I don't think they're going to do that. You live, I think, even a Life Orb Rock Slide. Not all the time, but I mean, we could easily EV to live Life Orb Rock Slide.
So what item are we running?
I think Shardy Berry could work. I mean, this looks horrendously stupid. Like just like on the surface, but when you think about what you want out of this slot, it doesn't seem that outlandish, right? Because Indeedee has the Focus Sash already. We could switch and put the Focus Sash on the Butterfree. That makes the Indeedee set demonstrably worse, and it makes Imprison a lot harder to pull off. On Butterfree, you can get a Sleep Powder off. Sleep Powder the Excadrill. Actually, no, you probably just want to get Trick Room up and Sleep Powder the Tar instead. Yeah, that's probably just a lot better. Sleep Powder. Pollen Puff is amazing. And Rage Powder, so you can still like have the Rage Powder with Dusclops mode. You get KO'd by a lot of things without having Focus Sash on the Butterfree, since a lot of things in this format use Max Airstream.
Mm-hmm.
So you get KO'd by a lot of stuff. Like, Dusclops is so goddamn bulky that it doesn't matter. The other side to this that's actually pretty interesting, I hadn't thought of till now, is remember how I was talking about how you want to get that mon on the field with 4 turns of Trick Room instead of 3?
Right.
Without Focus Sash on Butterfree, you probably go down a lot more. Because, like, sometimes, like, if I'm facing a Butterfree, a lot of times, like, I know, oh, they're going to go for Rage Powder, so sometimes I'll switch something out and hit the Butterfree. Or at least in situations where I'm threatening either Hatterene or Dusclops, right? I'll switch something out and hit the Butterfree as it Rage Powders so that it goes down the Sash, so that I intentionally don't give them that free switch in. And then on the next turn, I'll then KO the Butterfree to deny them sleep. But at that point, I've already wasted that really vital turn of Trick Room. And that's a huge way that a lot of people who build kind of balanced teams try to beat Trick Room, because they just look for little advantages like that, try to waste as many Trick Room turns as they possibly can. So that's like a lot of play a lot of top players think about, a lot of top players go for. So by having Charty Berry on Butterfree instead of Focus Sash, that could actually throw a lot of people off in that regard. And when they see the Indeedee, that's how it is, Indeedee. Whenever they see the Indeedee, they'll never think that the Indeedee has the Focus Sash as well.
I've been calling it Indeedee forever.
Indeedee, dude, I spent the first like 2 months doing that until I heard a bunch of commentators talking about it.
No, so it literally just clicked in my head that it wasn't Indeedee. Like, when you said it, I was like, oh, there are only 2 Ds.
Worldview just got annihilated.
Right? I don't even want to play this game anymore.
Another thing I'm thinking of is maybe instead of Protect on Butterfree, you do something else, but I think Protect's way too good. Because, like, you get Trick Room up, sometimes you just want to switch Butterfree out into Rhyperior and self-Brick Break, or switch into Torkoal and start going for damage, right? And then late game, Butterfree gives you an options, like a lot of options, because in late game, Butterfree is usually the fastest thing in the field, right? Not usually. It's kind of middling speed, actually, now that I think about it. But a lot of times in late game, going for sleep so that a slow Pokemon like Rhyperior or slow Pokemon like Hatterene or Torkoal can have that coverage to get off like one more attack and win you games. And so being able to protect to stall out your own Trick Room turns, to then outspeed and go for Sleep Powder is kind of important. So I think Protect on Butterfree is also a pretty good option. And if the matchup's hopeless, you can always just max the Butterfree and roll for Sleep anyways. Like, you have the option. And with Charty Berry, you actually probably live a lot of rock type attack. Like, you probably live Rock Slide from Tyranitar with Charty Berry and a max Butterfree. Yeah, you do. That's wild. Butterfree officially can live a Rock Slide from Tyranitar with Charty Berry.
Nice.
As long as you're Dynamaxed, as long as you're done. Quick though, I want to calc so that we live Life Excadrill, because a lot of people run Life, or not a lot, but a decent amount of people run Life Orb Excadrill. So if they lead like Excadrill Tar and Life Orb Rock Slide Butterfree, I think there's like a 4.9% chance that it KOs. Yeah, if we have no investment at all, Life Orb Rock Slide against Charty Berry Butterfree actually is a straight OHKO.
Is it?
For 252 HP, it's a 18.8% chance to OHKO. Get that 18.8% chance down to 0. So I can just finagle some of the EVs a little bit, and I'll probably be able to do that. So got it down to 6.3% chance. If I drop, then I'm able to get that to okay, cool. So right now I have 236 HP, 36 defense, 4 special defense, 236 speed. And I don't think there's really that many Pokemon that Butterfree cares about being max speed for.
So I disconnected, apparently, from Beautiful. I disconnected from
Twitch?
No, not Twitch. Showdown.
Oh, from Showdown?
Yeah, so I lost part of my team.
I'll DM you everything I have.
Ooh, the fourth move on. It was done. What's Puff? Whatever.
I sent you a paste on Discord. I don't know if you opened Discord.
Yeah, Discord's on the other monitor.
Okay, cool. What about the other stuff that this guy was?
Torkoal.
From X Dragapult. Just smart, probably optimal. Just use the spread of that. The thing is, like, we redirect Dragapult a lot. Sometimes Dragapult's not even getting off attacks, but like the bulk is like relatively balanced, so I think it's a really good spread either way.
Gotcha.
This is team building, looking at other people's teams and stealing them. Well, not stealing them, but like modifying them, improving them, making them a bit better than they were previously. Pops as 220 HP, 160 and 124 special defense. And boosting nature is defense.
For who?
For Dusclops.
Dusclops.
And 0 speed IV. Big one. Pretty much everything on this team except Butterfree and Indeedee want 0 speed IV.
So what for Dusclops? What nature?
Relaxed.
Plus defense minus speed. Makes sense.
For Hatterene, I don't think there's any bulk that really matters for Hatterene. He had 44 defense EVs and 212 HP. 212 HP makes sense because it optimizes the amount of damage that you receive from Life Orb Chip. I don't know what the defense does, though. Which is important to know. What does he say about it? He said he felt it would be the best to gain similar physical and special bulk stats, so he just threw it. That's okay. He didn't have a reason for it. He just threw it in there. Oh, also, real quick, Torkoal, Hatterene, Butterfree, Indeedee, and Dusclops should all have 0 attack IV.
Say that again. Who?
Everything except Rhyperior, basically, should have 0 attack IV. It's actually really important for Dusclops to have 0 attack IV. Otherwise, do more damage with Brick Break to your own Rhyperior, and you take a lot more damage from Foul Play, since Foul Play is also super effective against you. So it's Dusclops has like a decent attack stat. Like it's not good, but like 0 IV changes a lot of Foul Play damage for Dusclops.
Gotcha.
Dude had an incredibly specially defensive Rhyperior. He had 244 attack, Brave, so essentially max attack. He ran Hammer Arm. It's able to boost his attack stat on his own at speed before it Dynamaxes. Side effects of superpower. And he already has a rock slide for spread. So I think that's the next thing that we should probably look at. That last move on Rhyperior.
Right.
I don't think Hammer Arm makes the most sense. Like, sure, it means you can underspeed other Rhyperior. Sure, our Dusclops can't Will-O-Wisp other Rhyperior. But our Hatterene can Giga Drain other Rhyperior for like half, or Rhyperior can hit it. It's good. But the thing that's stopping me from running Hammer Arm right now is the fact that Mudsdale exists. So I was thinking of running like Ice Punch.
Ice
and
Punch.
maybe like that. Yeah, so like the team still has a way to hit Rhyperior or hit Mudsdale. Do we want more? Do we want like Hammer Arm to attack and potentially make us a little bit slower in the mirror? Or do we want Ice Punch and by extension Max Hailstorm in order to help deal with
Mudsdale?
Yeah. That's the question right now. Ice Punch or Hammer Arm? I think since Mudsdale is so uncommon, Hammer Arm might be optimal.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are going to be running Trick Room too, so...
Yeah, having an edge there is nice. And, like, if you do ever face Mudsdale, like, you can ally switch a lot. Like, you can ally switch it. You can pain split. Like, Cyclops HP gets low, and that will do a lot. Honestly, when you face Mudsdale, the optimal way to beat it is probably just trying to ignore it. Mudsdale, and then just like double target it down. Maybe have like Butterfree left over to try to sleep it like an end game. That's
Right.
probably the optimal way to try to deal with it, to be honest. Testing, that's a move that can change. That's one of those testing things. 32 HP, 132 special defense, so it's extremely specially bulky, which I like a lot.
How much HP should I do?
132.
132, then 244 attack.
And then 132 special defense.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Brave?
Yeah, Brave.
And for Dusclops...
Thinking maybe you could try to run a faster Rhyperior so that, like, in the mirror matchup, it's not a speed tie, and you can, like, maybe make plays where you reverse or Trick Room to other outspeed other Rhyperior. And since you have Hammer Arm anyways, you can lower your own speed, but, like... But I just think you'll find yourself in too many positions where you just need to win a speed tie against min speed other Rhyperior. And other Rhyperior sometimes do what I was talking about, where they make themselves a little bit faster. So I think it's just optimal min speed, to be honest. ED is set. Dusclops is set. Rhyperior is set.
So Dusclops I don't have EVs for right now.
Oh, it's 220 HP, 164 defense, and 124 special.
124 special attack?
Special defense.
And then for nature?
Relaxed.
Okay. And for so in D2D we want to run speed on. We want to have
and
31.
And D2D is just max speed. It's got
250, 231.
Strat works. 252. 252 is max that EVs you can go.
And for nature, do we want to do like
timid. It has to have a speed boosting nature, otherwise it won't outspeed other imprisoned Chandelure that also have a speed boosting nature.
Okay. And then for the rest of our EVs?
Since it's Sash, there's not a lot of point in having a lot of bulk.
So there's 252 in special attack, and then the leftover 4 in HP?
Yeah. In this way, like, in DDD can actually hit things. And again, like, if Trick Room ends and you have a DDD, Jesus, I'm still saying it wrong. If you have a DD, no, I'm saying it right. Oh my god, it's such a bad trick trying to pronounce this Pokemon. Like, if you go for, like, the Follow Me Trick Room, if DD doesn't die, then late game, you have, like, a fast option to, like, go for Psychic and Psychic Terrain, which, with 252 special attack investment, like, that does a lot of damage. That's not, like, damage to scoff at. That does a lot with Psychic Terrain boost. So, you actually do have an option to, if Trick Room ends, to bring out Indeedee and kind of clean up a game from there. So, I actually really like that a lot. Hatterene needs to have 212 HP, so you take as little damage as possible from Life Orb Recoil.
Right now I have Hatterene at 212 HP, 44 defense, and 252 special attack.
Yeah.
With Quiet Nature.
Yeah. So, quick reminder, make sure you also have the minus attack IVs and minus speed EVs on everything. That always gets me. I always screw that up.
I have minus attack IVs on everything except for Rhyperior, and minus speed on everything except for Indeedee and Butterfree.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Butterfree's 236 HP, 36 defense, 236 speed. There's something I want to check real quick before we finalize that. Just want to see if there's anything that Butterfree, like, missing out speeding by not being max speed. Get speed tiers. 20. Computer's so slow. Okay, here we go. Third 34. It's actually it doesn't outspeed Gyarados. Speed tied with
What if we made it timid?
Speed tied with 250 speed Chandelure. Oh, mine is timid. It's timid, but since I wanted to have a little more defensive bulk to try to lift that Rock Slide from Excadrill, if it's Life Orb with Charty Berry without Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing, I took some investment out of speed and put it in defense. But there's actually a few things I kind of don't like about that. So I'm going to try to maybe finagle with the spread a bit more to try to keep it max speed. Like, I'm probably going to end up decreasing a lot of its overall bulk. Physically bulky than anything else. Yeah, that's definitely the play here. Yeah, I'll be able to make this work. Charty Berry makes it a lot easier to lift these attacks, thankfully. Yeah, Charty Berry does a lot of work here. Okay, yeah. You go 200 HP and 52 defense. And you're able to stay max speed and also live a Life Orb Slide from using Excadrill.
You said 200 HP, 52, and 252?
Yeah.
I have 4 left over.
Yeah, dump those in special defense.
Okay.
For some reason, my Butterfree was minus special attack. I have no idea why I did that.
And then that brings us to Torkoal.
Torkoal, I think, should just be straight 2. Actually, no, take it again. You probably want Torkoal to be 236 HP. Chip.
The 252
like
special
and stuff
attack.
like that. Yeah, definitely max special attack. Minus speed, nature, so quiet, and the 20 probably go in defense. Body press damage.
20 in defense.
Something I'm thinking of is maybe on this Torkoal, since it has body press, putting a lot more investment in the defense than what normally I would put. Because that increases the damage of body press. And also when you get intimidated, it doesn't lower the damage of body press, so that's also really cool. I don't know. I think that's something that as like we just play more games with, we'll be able to see how much damage Torkoal is doing with body press and figure out if worth adjusting it. But I think for now, this is pretty good. This is a really good starting place.
All right.
Tardy Berry Butterfree for the win. And I never thought I'd ever put Chardy Berry on a Butterfree instead of Focus Sash, but it makes sense. It makes sense for like what we want to accomplish. Against Chandelure, we have the max speed imprison stuff from Medidi. Against potential sand leads, we can just lead Butterfree and go for like double Rock Slide. I mean, it's still not like we could still easily lose the double Rock Slide, but the point is that Butterfree just makes it so that the chances are a lot less. Basically, need the Rock Slide flinch on the Butterfree, so they have a not 30% chance since Rock Slide is Rock Slide 90% accurate or 95?
Don't know.
I should definitely know that. Actually it's 90% accurate. So we have a 20 or we have a 60 we have a 73% chance to beat the Rock Slide spam lead with Chardy Berry Butterfree. When without it, we had a
So, quick question.
Without it, we have a 46% chance, but with it, we have the 27% chance. So we basically doubled our odds by putting Chardy Berry on Butterfree, which I am a huge fan of. It's still not perfect, but it definitely makes the odds a lot more favorable.
So I don't have an account on Showdown. How does laddering work with that?
You can just make an account. If you click like in the top right corner, you can just like put in an account, put in a password, and then you can just start playing immediately.
Where's that button?
In the top right, it says choose name.
Okay.
And you can just put up a username, whatever you want, and then put in a passcode for it, and it works.
Put in a passcode for it.
Like you'll make an account basically.
Well, I put change name and I just put a name in it. That was it.
Oh yeah. After you have after I think one battle or something, you're able to register the username as yours.
Okay, so let's just do a random battle. Or a ladder.
Not random battle. Yeah. Click on the format. Go down the Sword and Shield doubles. Click VGC 2020.
Right, I have that set. And then I have my team set to the Chardy Berry best item.
Yeah, then you're just able to, quick battle, find a random opponent, and you'll face someone else, and it'll be easy.
Hopefully. Do you want to watch on the stream and...
I can just join the battle. It'll be a lot easier. Like, I'm able to, join the battle and then watch. What's your Showdown name?
LSG Lou. Alright, so we're gonna...
I sent you a dot, so if you send me a dot in return, then anytime you have a battle or something like that, and I'm able to click on your account and then join whatever battle you're in.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, this is actually gonna be a good test because he's got multiple forms of redirection. He's got a Rotom, which is pretty good against Rhyperior. He's got Incineroar, which is good against Rhyperior. See, okay, this is how you should approach team preview when you're playing with Trick Room teams. Think like, what two Pokemon next to each other can he not deal with very well? Then make the whole point of the game trying to get those two Pokemon next to each other.
Okay.
First thing I look at this, see like Torkoal does tons of damage to almost everything with Eruption, except Incineroar and Rotom. However, Hatterene does a decent amount of damage to those things. Rhyperior does a good damage to Incineroar, so like I don't think this is a good Dusclops game.
Should I lead a DDD Hatterene? And then put Rhyperior and Butterfree in the back?
Torkoal in the back. Typically don't want Butterfree in the back because it doesn't really do a lot of damage. Yeah. The other thing that now is kind of like a worry is that since he has Mimikyu, he could try to like do these shenanigans where he reverses your Trick Room. This is the worst part of playing Trick Room teams actually, is like the mind games of other people trying to reverse your Trick Room.
Right.
It's the most annoying thing about playing Trick Room. He has no offensive pressure right now, so you could probably just go for like follow me Dazzling. If he tries to reverse your Trick Room, then
you said follow me and
he sets
Dazzling Gleam?
And Dazzling Gleam. Yeah. Like he might try to reverse your Trick Room. Oh, he went for Sword Stance. He did. Okay. But that's fine because we can still just follow me Trick Room again since yeah. And now actually since he's Sword Stance Mimikyu, he's most likely gonna Dynamax it. So now I think you can go for like follow me Trick Room pretty safely. And now you didn't waste a turn of Trick Room. Like if you had follow me Trick Room tier, then that'd not be good. But now like you can follow me Trick Room. Hopefully Indeedee goes down. Oh no, we have Focus Sash. We're not gonna go down. That's honestly fine. You can max Mimikyu by going for Helping Hand Dazzling. Anyways, because you just get out like as much damage as you possibly can here. That's fine, yeah. Okay. He's not KOing Indeedee, so he's actually good. That's fine still. Like you just bring in Torkoal here. The reason you bring in Torkoal instead of Rhyperior is because you're gonna go for Eruption, right? So what does he have to switch into eat Eruption? He's got Incineroar. So if he's switching in Incineroar, you want to switch out Indeedee here, so that way you can get your Rhyperior on the field unintimidated, since Indeedee is faster than the Clefairy, and that's probably what he's going to switch. If he switches Mimikyu, that won't work, and you'll still get intimidated. But getting that Eruption damage is still important.
Huh, you protected Clefairy. Okay.
Oh well, it's fine. Still want Rhyperior on the field anyways, so that's still a good turn for us. And neither of us have used Dynamax yet. Getting out here. Yeah, he's got Incineroar to bring out. Eruption KOs Clefairy. So I think you go for Eruption and max Rock Ball into Incineroar. You could go for max Quake, but if he brought because Eruption is just going to clear Clefairy. You could max Quake, but you could have Togekiss. Oh, he forgot Psychic turns up. You hate to see that. You hate to see it.
And that's pretty much it.
Let's go. Yeah, it should be done.
Because you... Okay.
I'm curious to... Rotom instead of Incineroar in that last spot, and like Dynamax Rotom and switch Incineroar in for the Clefairy. That would have been something that would have been scary, but...
So I max Quake?
It's got Levitate, so you won't see it.
So max Rockfall.
Yeah, you just max Rockfall and Action. Rhyperior is so broken. There's no way Rhyperior should be able to live freaking Max Geyser. Like that should not be possible. It's so broken. Solid Rock and Dynamax combined. But yeah, and he just Rock Slide Eruption again.
Oh, bye, Torkoal.
And it was Life Orb. That was a Life Orb Max Geyser, and you still won it. You still lived it. That was a good example of how battles go. That was actually a team that probably would give us a lot of trouble, but he made a mistake on turn. Roar. The turn he brought out Incineroar, he should have brought out Rotom and then switched Clefairy into Incineroar and then Dynamaxed his Rotom. Even then, I mean, we're still in a decent spot to game. Like we have a couple plays we can make. But not having Hatterene around to hit the Rotom with a grass move kind of hurt us. So that's something to keep in mind in future games. Using Hatterene early against teams with a Rotom Wash in the back is not typically is something we're gonna want to.
So we want for this one, they have the Chandelure you're talking about. They have a Gastrodon, so that means we want Hatterene and Indeedee for sure again, and not Dusclops.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
Torkoal Rhyperior, just they do the damage, you know.
So we only want Butterfree if we're gonna leave Butterfree.
Pretty much, yeah. There's almost I struggle to think of a situation where you want Butterfree in the back. Like there might be a super rare occasion, but for the most part, just.
And this is where the gimmick comes in that we talked about.
Yes. Oh no. I don't think it's gonna work right now. It'll work if the Pikachu's modest, but if the Pikachu's not modest, it won't work.
So
because the Pikachu can outspeed and use its G-Max move that makes it so that it paralyzed, and then after we're paralyzed, we won't outspeed the Chandelure.
So do we Trick Room in prison, right?
Yeah.
Oof.
I called that was gonna happen. Oh no. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That's such a unique application of that strategy failing, you know?
Right.
Oh, that's so annoying. That would have been so cute. That would have been such a good play.
So
I think to
just pump Psychics.
Switch. Thank you. Switch Hatterene into Rhyperior and protect Indeedee.
Well, that would be fine, but Indeedee doesn't have Protect.
Oh, just Psychic then. It's fine. Just Psychic.
Psychic Pikachu?
Chandelure.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Good thing we did not switch.
I ran out of time.
Yeah, that was bad.
Alright, let's put Rhyperior in.
This game's not lost yet.
No.
I think you max guard Rhyperior and you
Psychic Chandelure.
I think you actually get rid of Pikachu.
Okay, Psychic Pikachu, max guard.
Because Pikachu is the only thing that can really hit Rhyperior here. Yeah.
Oof.
I had a orb. I KO normally. I actually don't know. Chandelure's got like 145 base special attack. I think it's broken.
Alright, so
I think you just Heat Wave and Max Rock Chandelure. See, this is the problem with.
I fucked up. I put Heat Crash instead of Heat Wave, and I hurry on Turkle.
Oh no!
So
Eruption's fine.
And Mass Quake.
Yeah. Oh no! You want to Max Rock Ball?
Oops.
You change it. You hit cancel.
Eruption. Max Rockfall on Pikachu?
Because you want Chandelure, because it's probably Focus Sash. So you want the Sand Chip to KO it after. Unfortunate. What? You went after the. What? I have no idea why you hit Torkoal there.
Alright.
The war
Pikachu's...
goes down. Game's not over. Boulder's not good. Excadrill's also not good. Max
Okay.
Quake Excadrill and protects Torque.
Protect. Max Quake.
I think Excadrill hits Torkoal. Like Togekiss or like Astrodon and stuff like that in the back. The Conkeldurr, I think, kind of ruins it. If he hits Rhyperior, you're gonna cry. Okay, made a good play. Made a good play. Option is go for the double protect on Torkoal and high horsepower the Conkeldurr. And hope that he goes for high horsepower into Rhyperior and that he misses it. And that he also hits Torkoal with the Conk. Okay, we lost. Oh, we went for Rock Slide. That's such a bad play. Oh. If he had just... We made the right play, definitely. But if he had just missed one of those Rock Slides, that would have been game. Also, double protected, too. He had Iron Head, too. Oh, that was a mistake.
We're going to rematch him.
Because we also protected... So... people typically don't rematch ladder. Yeah. It's like the whole point of like playing ladders that you get to face as many teams as you possibly can.
We got a very similar team. Dragapult, Rotom, T-Tar, Excadrill. Do we really go with the same thing again? I don't think we need Indeedee. We can go we can bring out Butterfree. Butterfree, Hatterene, or Butterfree Dusclops.
I think Indeedee is important because oh no, the Sands. So maybe like Hatterene could be cool.
Hatterene.
I think you really want
really want who?
To be honest. I think you want Bolt set up Trick Room here, and I think like it's these kind of teams. I think having like Dusclops is gonna be nice. I think like Dusclops Butterfree might be one of your better lead options here.
I like that. Dusclops Butterfree, Rhyperior, Torkoal.
Yeah. I'm slightly worried about beating Rotom, but I think it'll be possible.
Beating Dragapult, Excadrill.
That's good.
Weakness policy in life or
Rage Powder Trick Room. Hope we don't get flinched by Excadrill. It'll Rock Slide and he's gonna max Phantasm Butterfree. We just have to not get Rock Slid, and I think we win. Yeah, I think we actually win if we don't get Rock Slid. Oh, he went for Fly. Wait, what? What the fuck?
Okay.
Just Powder Excadrill and with Dusclops.
Do what with Dusclops?
I have no idea. Brick Break. I think Brick Break
we have
and
Bulldoze,
Sleep Powder the Excadrill.
Bulldoze Pain Split. I didn't
Bulldoze is
fix
supposed to
it.
be Brick Break.
I know. After this, we're gonna fix.
I think you still Bulldoze and Excadrill.
And you said what should I do with what should I do with Butterfree?
Sleep Powder Excadrill. Yeah, this is a good turn. But the problem is Bulldoze now makes Excadrill slower than Butterfree, huh? But he goes for another Sword Stance. What a greedy dude.
Goodbye, Butterfree. That's okay. We get a Rhyperior out?
Rhyperior. Yeah. Now, and start KOing.
So Bulldoze.
And I actually think you might just want to Rock Slide here. I don't think you want to Dynamax.
Okay. I was thinking wait, because he has like a lot of threats to Dynamax, and so we can Dynamax.
Yeah.
after.
And we're definitely gonna Dynamax Rhyperior, but Rock Slide also covers switches. Because it hits for spread. Dynamax this King X. How do you do that? But it wouldn't have done any damage anyway.
Oh, it Oko Dragapult? Well, not technically, but it killed Dragapult.
2. Okay. Now, and
we can ally switch. No.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And we ally switch. Exactly.
Ally switch, and what do we do with Rhyperior?
I think now is the time to Dynamax and Max Quake Excadrill, because that thing is now a threat. I'm worried about his Rotom going for ally switch. It did. I hate to see it. Ally switch is so good, man. I'm telling you, it is so broken. It's so wrong.
All right, we're gonna.
I think you max Rockfall. You don't want to let Tyranitar protect and then get weak policy here.
So we max Rockfall Tyranitar.
Rotom.
Rotom. Oh, okay. And then
yeah, max Rockfall Rotom and the weird thing about Dusclops. Sometimes you just have turns where you don't really have a lot you can do.
Just ally switch again.
I guess you could, but you could also pain split the Tom in case it's.
I'm gonna ally switch. YOLO. Oh, Rotom's dead. Oh, you rock slid. Feels bad, man. So now, do we Trick Room again? Did I lose you? I think I lost you. I'm gonna Trick Room Max Knuckle. Oh, that was it. We won. All right, we're gonna play one more. Oof. This is where you see how bad I actually am, because
Can you hear me now?
I can. So we won that game. He never used Protect.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's why I was saying, like, a lot of times, whenever you're using kind of like really offensive teams, just protect all that often, especially if they're like heavily momentum based, like Trick Room is. And even in my other team, like I made a balanced team that didn't have a single Pokemon with Protect on it earlier in the format. So I was like, every Pokemon protects with Max Guard. So I don't know the name of that Pokemon.
Of the bear guy?
The Moth.
Frostrum?
I have no clue. I know its ability though. Its ability like doubles its special defense or something, and it gets Quiver Dance. So that's probably strategy.
What do we run here is the question.
I think Hatterene in TD is good because we stop fake outs with Psychic Terrain.
Frostmoth.
Fake out lead. Frostmoth. And also like
Do we?
Probably
I think we
Gastrodon.
immediately set Trick Room, right? We just go to follow me Trick Room immediately. Turn 1.
Yeah. I don't see a reason to do anything else. And we can just start doing tons of damage next turn. Yeah, he can't stop Trick Room here.
So yeah, Al. Some of our Pokemon have Protect, but the opponent didn't have Protect last game.
Went a lot of times, a lot of Pokemon don't carry Protect in the format. Like Rotom sometimes carry Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, and Dark Pulse instead of Protect.
We just start pumping Psychic into stuff.
Oh hell yeah! I think you
get rid of Token Mario.
I think you want to get Torkoal right now, and Psychic the. Actually, no, I think you switch into Torkoal and you max Hatterene and go for a Psychic move into Frostmoth.
Okay. Max Mindstorm, Frostmoth, switch in Torkoal.
Yeah, because you just want to pick up this KO so that something, because it just protected. Yeah, so now it can't protect since it just protected last turn. So you have like a guaranteed nuke into that slot, which means now there's 3 turns of Trick Room left, and he's forced to bring out a third Pokemon. By switching Torkoal onto the field, you get a bunch of offensive pressure out to threaten a lot. So like you guarantee whenever something protects like that, you can like guarantee that you start plowing holes through their team. And using that offensive pressure, you're also able to cover the, which is great because it just gives you more offensive pressure. Gotcha. And this is like how Trick Room's played. You just find like ways like that to just keep the momentum in your favor.
Okay.
I just don't see how. Yeah, there's no chance here, buddy.
Max Overgrowth, Gastrodon, right?
Yep.
And
you
then
can just Eruption.
Eruption.
Tons of damage. Like Gastrodon's his only option to bring out here.
Do you think his other Pokemon in the back is Braviary?
He has Sash on Token. Okay.
Gastrodon's dead.
I think he has Airtick in the back. Yeah, that was slaughter.
We'll play one more since that was fast. I said that was gonna be my last one, but that was too quick.
Easy.
So
yeah. The only one we lost was that G-Max P. I remember when I had the Imprison strat, I was like, oh, this might not work if they have like some sort of speed control, but I was like, oh, people don't really lead Chandelure like speed control into Hard Trigger. They usually lead Chandelure plus like direction or Chandelure like support or like more offensive pressure.
So I don't think this team is real. So I'm gonna go Hatterene and DDD Rhyperior Torkoal.
Oh my gosh, this is about to get annihilated by.
So Hatterene and DDD Rhyperior Torkoal, right? Because I feel like that's like the core bread and butter of this comp.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like it just runs this team over. Like if I just play like my game plan, it feels like it just run this over for free.
Yeah, he's because his team's like very hyper effective. It's like his first matchup. The only thing I'm trying to think of like random stuff he could have that could help him win. Since we have Sash on Indeedee, like we're gonna redirect both his attacks here. Sucker Punch, Sludge Bomb. He gone down there, but whatever. I think you just Dazzling Gleam and Helping Hand. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam, Helping Hand.
So yeah, Alfred, the comp we're playing, or the category we're playing in right now is the official rule set for competitive Pokemon, VGC.
Oh my gosh, dude. Hatterene is so strong.
Ooh, Hatterene just died.
Maybe Follow Me would have been better on Indeedee there. I think that was a mistake, because Indeedee, we kind of wanted to get off the field, to be honest.
So we're throwing Rhyperior?
I think we bring out Rhyperior and bit. Dope. This is good because we can max
Rockfall.
I think we actually max Rockfall. No. Max Quake actually, I think, is more optimal. If we max Quake the poison thingy and follow, I don't know its name. Yeah, toxicity.
Follow me.
And follow me, yeah.
And we'll
so that
proc the
indeed
sash.
guarantees. Hey, yeah, because like way we guarantee that Torque onto the field and that we get Torkoal and Rhyperior next to each other. But if we max Quaked the Dracovish, then it would live. Then the Toxicity would KO, and then the Fish's Rend would go into Rhyperior. But he still has Dynamax. That's something to be concerned about. But I think now we just Dracovish and max Dracovish as well.
Max Rockfall, Dracovish. And what did you say to use?
A body press on Dracovish, because I think it does more damage with Eruption. That's what I was worried about.
Gotta fix the team after this one. Because we saw those two moves that are messed up. The Heat Wave and the Brick Break.
Oh, yeah. That Dragon Dance, that's a problem.
Then
Quake, we're good. Because Dracovish don't normally carry
that's just
Rockfall the roll to KO, so I think we do the same play again, where we max Rockfall and Body Press the Dracovish. Actually, no, I think I was thinking maybe Eruption might have been better there.
This guy's scary. This Dragon Ball's scary.
Yeah, but I think with Eruption and high horsepower, we'll be able to KO it, and we'll live. Oh, we didn't live. No. Oh, I thought we were gonna live that.
Do we just keep doing Eruption?
Not now. Now I think we Heat Wave. I think we lost.
Well, I don't have Heat Wave because I'm down.
Oh yeah. What does Heat Crash do?
Powerless move depends on the user's target weight rounded down. Power is equal to 120% if the result is 5 or more, 100 to 4, blah, blah, blah. Damage doubles and no accuracy check is done if the target has used minimize.
I think yeah, you go for it. Because Eruption won't do a lot of damage.
If that didn't do a lot of damage either.
In the rain. Alright, where did that battle go wrong? I think that battle went wrong that hand that we Helping Hand Dazzling. Because we needed to preserve Hatterene to deal with the double dragons in the back. Helping Hand Dazzling Gleam and losing Hatterene. I think we should have gone for like. I think actually we should have maxed the Hatterene. Now that I think about it, yeah, we definitely should have. That was a really bad misplay. We should have maxed the Hatterene and gone for the max fairy move into the Bisharp and the follow me with DD. That way, Indeedee guaranteed goes down. Hatterene gets off like a bunch of damage, and the Toxicity is in KO range of both Mons we have in the back. So we'd be able to bring something out that could get rid of Toxicity, and Hatterene literally Okos his entire team. So losing Hatterene was a terrible mistake there. That was a really bad misplay.
And that was just as simple as using Follow Me there to get the Indeedee to swap over instead of trying to helping losing. Hand.
Yeah, because using Hatterene there to Sludge Bomb was really bad. The reason I made that play though was because I was worried that the Bisharp might have Focus Sash. So
we're doing one more, by the way.
And max Hatterene.
Pretty offensive team.
We still would have lived. I think if we max, we'd have the ball.
Answer your question, Al.
Yeah. Say that again.
I was answering Al's question in the chat real quick. Pokemon Showdown is pretty much just a testing and ladder tool to just get general experience with the comp before you commit to building it in the actual game.
This matchup's interesting because at first it seems like Hatterene's really good here, but the problem is that Duraludon's ability ignores redirection. So it just Okos Hatterene with Max Steel Spike, straight up. So Hatterene's not a good lead here. That's something you always need to remember when you see Duraludon, that you just can't bring Hatterene.
Okay.
You have to like lead Dusclops in order to get Trick Room up. Butterfree's kind of cool.
I like the idea of practicing with Butterfree. So we're gonna do Butterfree, Rhyperior, Torkoal.
Yeah. I was thinking we might want DDD though. I think we kind of wanted in DD over Torkoal. Because I think we're gonna end. Yeah, we definitely wanted in DD. I think because
Trick Room,
Dracovish is gonna be a problem. I don't think you need to Trick Room actually, because Dusclops is so bulky, it takes hits from both of these things. So I think you could just try to go for a Sleep Powder into Duraludon.
Okay.
And if the toxicity is modest, then you'll be able to Duraludon the Sleep. And the Duraludon can't protect either since it's Assault Vest.
What if we?
And the other aspect is Assault Vested Duraludon often run Dragon Tail because it ignores redirection and get rid of you with Dragon Tail.
What if we ally switch?
Duraludon, you just want Trick Room.
I thought you said not the Trick Room.
No, do Trick Room.
Trick Room and then Sleep Powder Duraludon.
Yeah.
Oh, and he
He's not
demaxed.
Start. It's fine. Able to live on the toxicity attacks.
And then Duraludon to sleep during his Gmax, and Butterfree did their job.
You remember how earlier I was like, not having Focus Sash is going to be a big deal because there's a lot of things that bring Butterfree down the Sash and intentionally don't KO them.
Mm-hmm.
What he meant to do with that Volt. But instead, now we get our free switch. This is why.
Do we put in Torkoal here?
Torkoal? Yeah, bring in Torkoal. Cool to have Hatterene, but still good. Actually, I think we just start going for eruptions. Do you have Brick Break yet?
I do have Brick Break. I fixed it.
That's good. I think we go for a Pain Split. No. I don't know. Maybe Rhyperior would have been better. We could like Brick Break and get Policy and attack the Duraludon and then next turn switch to Torkoal, but and Pain Split the Duraludon, I guess.
Oof.
Oh my god.
That did a lot more work than I thought it would.
I did not think that was going to be an Oko. Okay, here's the Rotom. Here's the
Oh, you quit.
Yeah. Did not really have a way to beat called Rhyperior in the back. Even with Rotom, he wasn't going to be able to max Rhyperior.
Right. That's my last one on stream. Al, thank you for tuning in, man. I'll be back tomorrow. What is tomorrow? What day of the week? Friday. Tomorrow's First Stock Friday.
Hey.
So tomorrow's Grayson versus Ray. It's going to be hype as hell. You should definitely tune into that. I'm going to end the stream for now, and then I'll keep playing off stream. But thank you, Al. See ya.